What's up, Couch fam? Welcome to my Week 15 Fantasy Football rankings. Let's go right into my PPR ranks for quarterbacks. This week, I'm going to keep the video really short. I got some lineups to set off before the playoffs kick off. I'm a believer in Mike White. Excellent matchup. He says he's going to play this week, and I'm starting him. I'm starting him over Deshaun Watson. Really conflicted about Justin Fields. He's the type of quarterback you really don't want to bench, but also this is going to end at some point. Remember when we thought Lamar Jackson was never going to end when he was the MVP and he put up 40, 30 fantasy points every week? I just don't see this lasting. It typically lasts the rest of the season, but maybe there's a small, maybe not a brick wall this week, but maybe a small speed bump going against the Eagles. They stop the passing game. They don't use extra resources to do that. They use those extra resources to stop the run game and Justin Fields. Just a theory. So I'm not ranking him extremely low, but it looks like I'm ranking him about 3 spots below the consensus here. Yeah, I'm not a big believer in the Seahawks this week going against the Niners. This is very interesting. For the first time, we're seeing Aaron Rodgers having all his weapons back. He's going to have Robert Tonyan. He's going to have Romeo Doubs. He's going to have Cobb. He's going to have Christian Watson. He's going to have both his running backs. So I do like Aaron Rodgers if you're in a Superflex league or something like that. But after the top 10 quarterbacks or so, after the top 10, it gets really tough to rank them. I don't see a big difference between maybe Trevor Lawrence and Aaron Rodgers this week. Of course, Trevor Lawrence is just on fire, but he's facing the number 1 fantasy defense. He's facing the Cowboys, so not a great matchup for him. Let's move on to running backs. We got like our elite 4 right here: C-Mac, Henry, Jacobs, and Eckler. And I'm going to make an adjustment here, and that's going to be Zonovan Knight. That's going to be the bold prediction of the week, brought to you by Sleeper. I think that Zonovan Knight is going to be an RB1, and not just that. I think he's going to be a little bit better than that. I'm going to have him as RB9. I think he's going to be top 10. I really like this matchup against the Lions. Zonovan Knight, he's not a super talent. He's not an elite running back, but he is very good and a very good fit for the Jets. And I think he's going to absolutely go off against the Lions. Pretty good upside, extremely high floor. And I missed on him on one of my waiver videos. I had him ranked way too low, and I'm going to make up for that. I'm going to tell everybody to start Zonovan Knight. I'm telling people to start Zonovan Knight over Ken Walker, of course. So I think he's going to be a top 10 running back. Oh, I said 9. Okay, top 10. Yeah, he's going to be number 10, just ahead of David Montgomery even. That's a little bit bold right here. So if I was playing it a little bit safer, I'd have him RB12. So still a RB1. But to be a little bit bolder, I'll push him up 2 more ranks here. Ramondre Stevenson did not practice, hasn't been practicing all week. Damian Harris logged yet another limited session in practice. So I'm just going to assume that Damian Harris plays and Ramondre does not. This game kicks off Sunday in the second wave of games. Keep that in mind. I love the matchup, and I like the Patriots running backs, as in like they use them. They're a running team. They use the running back position. Damian Harris should be a good start this week. J.K. Dobbins, extremely risky start. I'm telling a good amount of people to start him. And okay, let's move on. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Ken Walker this week. Not enough time to recover from that injury. I know he doesn't have an injury designation, and just a disgusting matchup against the Niners. Should be a low scoring game with the Niners winning tonight. For wide receivers, we got the Elite 6 here. That's going to be Stephon Diggs or better. What do I want to talk about? Garrett Wilson. This is kind of like Garrett Wilson's kind of like the tier right here. I think if you have Garrett Wilson or better, that's basically a must start in my book. Like, it's going to be so tough to not start anybody that's number 16 or higher on my list. So that's where I wanted to kind of draw a line right here with Garrett Wilson. Now, we love Christian Kirk. He's just inconsistent. And Jerry Jeudy should be great. Devontae Smith's great. You know, Chris Godwin's a good start as well. It's just like we have a little bit question marks here. Like, who's their quarterback? What's the game script? You know, would it be another wide receiver? There's just other question marks and factors. With Garrett Wilson and better, I'm just a lot more confident on what's going to happen. I'll scroll down a little bit, and then we'll move on to the next position. For tight ends, we're starting Mark Andrews with confidence. Tyler Huntley should be playing, so that's good for Mark Andrews. Travis Kelce, of course, at number 1. A little bit surprised here, maybe. Greg Dulcich at number 3. I like this one. I kind of want to know who's going to be the quarterback for the Broncos. That might affect this. But yeah, that's going to pretty much sum up the tight ends. I telling a couple people to start Evan Ingram, but kind of reluctant on that. Yeah, pretty reluctant on that, actually. Maybe want to start Cole Kmet instead. I think that would be smarter. I like this. This looks good. I like how this looks. I like it. Not a great matchup for Evan Ingram. And keep tabs on Pat Freiermuth's injury. Seems very minor. I still don't like him with Trubisky, and I don't like that there is some kind of injury or some kind of concern there. Like I said, I don't think it'll be a big deal, but just keep tabs on that just in case. That Steelers-Panthers game kicks off Sunday morning. Should be a very low-scoring game. Probably a boring one, to be quite frank. For defenses, I'm very confident, or I'd be very comfortable if I had a top 11, maybe even top 12. I love the Saints D, but super risky. So hopefully you got like a top 12 defense here. And you know what? Since there's 12 of them, you should be able to get them. If not, just go get the Saints. So top 13 is very nice as well. Let's just make it top 13. Go get you a top 13 defense, and you're in good hands. And quite frankly, I don't see a big difference between any of them. Like, I don't know if the Chiefs are going to be the best defense, the Broncos, maybe the Packers, who's just very good matchup and not a horrible defense, but just low upside. They just haven't been good. Niners could be the best defense this week. Cowboys always have that upside. Commanders are just on fire in a low-scoring game where the Giants just don't have any receivers. Eagles have always been good. A little bit worried about them facing Justin Fields. Panthers are going against Trubisky. So just a lot of great. And then we got the Bills at 9. Like, that's super low. I could easily put them in top 6. So it's like really close between these top 12, 13 defenses. Hopefully you're able to get one of those. I was kind of big on the Browns D, but that was only if the third string quarterback was going to play for the Ravens. And I'm going to take a guess at his name. Anthony Brown. I don't know. That's probably wrong. I'm thinking Anthony Davis, but that's a basketball player. I don't know. I forget his name, but the guy who's backing up Tyler Huntley. Anyway, Huntley should be playing, so that's good news for the Ravens. All right, guys, for kickers, I'll break it up into tiers here. So we're going to go top 5, actually. Top 5 is my tier that I trust, I love, and we'll call that the elite tier. That's going to be Carlson, Folk, or better, and not really much separating these 5 at all. I love all 5 of these guys. If you can't get one of those 5, the next tier would kind of be around the 10 mark. Yeah, so get a top 5. You can't get that, go get you a top 10. Greg Zuerlein's kind of my, I guess, sleeper. Not a lot of people do kickers or kicker analysis or really worry about kickers at all. So I think Greg Zuerlein's going to be great. Not a big surprise to me on my rankings, maybe a little bit more of a surprise to others. So I do like Greg Zuerlein. He's kind of back, man. He's playing well this year. Great matchup. So I do really like Greg Zuerlein, but I think you can get a little bit better than him. I think, yeah, you know what? There's really not a big difference between Zuerlein and McPherson this week. I really don't see that big of a difference. McPherson's kind of been having a down year. He was phenomenal last year. Yeah, you don't want to go past 16. If you if you're thinking about getting a guy that I have ranked lower than Joey Sly, reconsider your lifestyle. Ask questions. Just contemplate what you're doing. Maybe you may want to consider another kicker. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. I'm going to go set my lineups. Set your lineups. Don't start any players playing Thursday in flex. Try to start players that are playing later in the flex spot. Veteran tip right there. Leaves you more flexible in case weird things happen last minute. Good luck this week. I'm going to check out your YouTube comments. You guys know I read every single one of them. And I'll see you guys on the next video / live stream.